I am a chronic overthinker and worrier, and whenever I was injured, it was the worst thing in the world, and I thought I was going to be that way forever. I used to get thoughts of, is this going to cause more damage if I move? Am I going to be like this forever? Is it going to get worse if I move? How am I ever going to get out of this? It was the worst thing in the world for me. Thankfully, I have pretty much fixed all of my issues and have been pain-free for the last 10 years. And I now finally feel like I'm in a place that I can share the mindset aspect of things that got me pain-free to help you to keep going whenever the fear is there. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tom Morrison. I have recovered from 4 lumbar disc herniations with multiple level nerve impingement, a disc in my cervical spine, a syrinx in my spinal cord, and I have ankylosing spondylitis, which is inflammatory arthritis which affects my spine and my hips. I teach people all over the world how to get pain-free and how they can get back to doing the things that they love. So let's dive in. One of the worst parts about being injured or in pain isn't so much the pain itself, it's how long the recovery can actually take. We all want things to feel better immediately, and we think in terms of like how many days this has been going on for, but if you have quite seriously injured something, or you've been in pain for a long time, or your nervous system is freaking out, then you need to think more in terms of weeks, months, or even up to a year. Whenever I had my knee injury, it was actually a meniscus tear, and I was walking with a limp for around a year until I finally got an operation to get it out. But when it came to my disc injuries, it took a year for me to actually desensitize the nerves and get myself back to being pain-free without needing any intervention. So it absolutely is possible, it just takes much longer than you think. Progress becomes so much easier whenever you stop thinking, am I healed yet, am I fixed? And actually start thinking, am I a little bit better than yesterday or the week before? When it comes to recovery, there's no one big, yay, I'm fixed moment. It all comes from consistency with the right things for a long period of time. Every day counts. Hang on, I really need to pee.
Brothers and sisters!
Oh, hang on, the tripod's stuck. The second point is that you need to remove yourself from your injury. You are not your injury. You can't make it become a part of your identity. You need to think this is temporary, this is only where I'm at currently, and it will get better. Whenever I was really bad with my back injury, I used to call myself pathetic and weak, and I just wasn't very nice to myself, and it just was not helpful at the time. The only thing that kept me going is that my wife was pregnant at the time, and I couldn't imagine not being able to hold my child whenever she was born. So Roxy was on the way, and my wife was heavily pregnant, and it was looking like I wasn't going to be able to work. I felt absolutely useless, and that word pathetic, I do not use that lightly. I think it's the worst thing in the world you can call someone, and that's what I was calling myself every day. So do not let your injury define you. It is not part of your identity. It's just something you're currently happening to go through, and you're still healthy, and you will be strong again. One of the worst things that people do is they focus on what they can't do. I can't lift, I can't run, I can't train. What's the point? It is the worst mindset to be in. And also, do not be afraid of looking silly. Do you think I am scared of looking silly? You gotta go through the exercises that are gonna help you to get better. When I had my knee injury, I worked on muscle up progressions, and I got really good on the rings. And when I had my shoulder injury, that's when I worked on pistol squats and got the hang of those. Always focus on what can I still do, what can I improve, and what new habits can I take on. Whenever I injured my back, that's when I finally fixed my full body flexibility so that I could actually start to squat properly, lift overhead properly as well. It's one of the best things that I ever went through, and I shouldn't have had to been in so much pain to do it. It's often said that you should come back stronger after an injury, and that's absolutely true. You should come back with better mobility, better nutrition, better sleep, better discipline, and a lot more patience too. So always keep that in mind whenever it comes to your recovery. What can you make better in this current time? Can you hear that? Hey, hey, the content creator here, trying to make a living. Shh. People often celebrate being mentally strong and mentally tough and pushing through, no pain, no gain. But when you're injured, it's just not very helpful really, is it? You gotta focus on adaptability. What can you do in the current moment? How can you reduce the intensity of your training? What do you need to fix or improve? Figure out any weaknesses you have, either with your flexibility or your stability. Put that as your strong focus. How can I make myself so impeccably strong in all directions and all ways so it would be unreasonable for me to have any pain? Whenever I used to get injured, I would just be so annoyed. I would go home and just not do anything. I would rest completely. That would go out the window. I would drink more. I would smoke again. It just wasn't helpful. Whereas when you put it more positively of like, right, what are the gaps that I can fill in now in this current moment? That's actually where you're going to get stronger. Adaptation beats stubbornness. Hang on, I need to top up. One of the best things I've ever bought, by the way, a cooker tap, boiling water tap. If you can get one of them, awesome. Cooker, give me them for free. I'll just give you a shout out. My fifth point, I think, is that setbacks happen. Recovery is not a straight line. You are going to have days where you're starting to feel better and you're like, this is amazing. Then you're going to get other days where you're like, oh no, I'm back to square one. But you're never back to square one. If you've been learning new things and you've been implementing them as well and improving things, it's actually quite normal for muscles to hurt more as they improve. Think about it. If you haven't moved a joint fully for a very, very long time and you all of a sudden start to do that, it's like the first time you've ever exercised all over again. I fully convinced myself that I had arthritis in my right hip, like bad arthritis it was wearing away, crumbling away as my hip mobility improved. My external rotation was so bad that in the 90-90 position, I could not sit up on one side whatsoever. Like compared to the other side wasn't too bad. This side, not a mission. I was squatting sideways. Now I know exactly why I got so badly injured. My right knee went first, and then all my disc injuries were to the left side. So it all came from poor hip mobility. As it improved, it hurt more, but ultimately now I sit here pain-free, able to do all kinds of fun stuff, and I never need to worry. Healing is like your stonks and shares. Whenever things are going up, it feels great, and then you get a wee bit of a dip and you're like, oh no, this is the worst thing in the world. Then it goes back up again, and then you get a wee dip and you're like, I'm back to square one. Whenever I was recovering from my serious disc injuries, it was about that full year, I got 3 major setbacks. And at that time, I thought that the discs pop back out and pop back in again. And I thought, oh, the disc could pop back out again. Now I actually know that discs can herniate and stay herniated. And as you keep moving and getting stronger, you can actually desensitize the nerves. That is very settling for me, that I know that as long as I keep moving and keep myself strong, those nerves won't freak out. So they're still exposed, they're still being irritated on paper, but I'm okay. That's great. So yes, next time you have a bit of a setback, it doesn't mean you're going backwards or you're back to square one. It's part of the journey, it's part of the road. One of the most powerful mindset shifts I had when it came to pain was starting to question pain. Am I actually causing more damage, or is this just a signal that something is a bit stiff or needs to change? Can you hear that drill? I can really hear that drill. I hope you can't. But here's the thing. By using safe movements that are assisted, you're actually able to work through your pain. And the key thing is, if you feel a sharp pain, something's like, ah, and it hurts every time you do it, ah, like that, go and see a professional and get help and guidance with that. But if it's just like a, oh, don't like that, and it starts to ease the more you start to move, then that's actually something that's okay to work with. Especially, the weird thing is, see when it comes to disc injuries, the pain that you get is like a 1,000 out of 10. Your brain can't comprehend just how painful it is. And that's actually one that you need to move through and need to learn more about breathing and relaxing yourself down. So keep that in mind. Not all pain is bad. You're not causing more damage. And on a long enough time horizon, if you really think about it, if you don't move, you lose all your strength, all your stability. Where does that leave you? You're just giving more reasons for pain to be there. So especially if you've had a long layoff or you're coming back from an injury, start to think, okay, I haven't done stuff for a while. There's going to be discomfort, and that's normal. Don't spill the juice. Try not to be so future focused. Control the inputs. Do not focus on the future and the outcome that you want. I want to be pain-free right now. It doesn't really help that much. What can you control in the current moment? Can you learn better rehab exercises? Can you figure out more about mobility? Can you know where your limitations are? Can your sleep be better? Can your nutrition be better? Can your stress management be better? All of these things are what you take into consideration. Focus on what you can control, because that puts the power back in your hands. This is something that I'm actually going through with personally at the minute, well, professionally, I don't know, with work at the minute, with business, because the views have got so hard to get and there's so many people in the same niche now, and the things that I can focus on and think about is that I've been doing it for 10 years, I've helped thousands of people worldwide, I've recovered from my own injuries, I've been pain-free for 10 years. All of those things give me confidence to keep going. So instead of me going, oh, I don't get the views I used to, and oh, everything's falling apart, and you know, I'm making more than ever, and I've never been so frustrated and stressed, it's like, I don't need to put that in my head. I need to focus on what I can do. And this video is quite literally one of the things that I can do. I've always focused on sharing silly adverts and, you know, silly educational stuff and just being like, well, this is how you do this. This is what it should feel like. There you go. But I never really felt, not qualified, but just experienced enough to talk about the mindset. But now I'm nearly 40. I'm thinking, all right, I've had some kids now. I've lived a bit of life. I feel like I can actually share and express this mindset stuff. And I think it's going to be really helpful in connecting with people. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you do actually like this kind of content, or am I just being silly? But yeah, focus on the things that you can control, not the outcome. What is that? It's square. I have a square. What's going on? That's been you, that has. You're a square. Damn it, I love swing ball. I often say that injury reveals your character. It's a defining moment and it shows you who you really are. When the chips are down and you need to perform, it's like if things always go well and you never have any issues, you don't become very resilient. So the things that happened to me actually made me a much stronger person. I'm much more able to cope with other stuff. So even though you can't set new PRs, you're not looking your best, and you're not, you know, achieving the goals that you set for yourself initially, you're learning about resilience, you're learning about patience, and you're learning about adaptability and how to actually get yourself to a point of pushing through that will come back to help you when you can train again. So it's character building stuff, but you've got to think, no, wrong way. You've got to think, I can't remember what I was talking about. Yes, you've got to keep showing up, because you cannot be defined by your peak performance or when things are at your best. Your true character comes out when you keep going and you keep showing up, even when the odds are stacked against you. Everybody wants to get through an injury in the quickest way possible, but very fewer, lesser, not that many people ask, what is this teaching me? What am I actually learning from this? Through learning how to overcome my injuries, I got stronger than I ever was before. My recovery got better than ever was before. I felt amazing. I didn't believe how different your hips and your knees and everything should feel when my hips actually started to move okay. When I fixed my spine movement, I couldn't believe I could breathe better. It was mental. It was crazy. This learning experience actually changed my career. It got me out of a job that I hated, and it actually helped me to start being able to teach people. It made me a better coach, made me a better person. So taking it as a learning experience and taking that on board can absolutely shape you in a way that you never could have imagined. And it just gives you a different level of positivity and a perspective that helps your life to no end. So when I hurt my knee, I learned about proper quad stretching and hip mobility, and the importance of foot strength when it comes to the knees as well. When I hurt my shoulder really badly and kept tweaking my neck all of the time, I learned about the relationship between the ribs and the upper back before actually working on your shoulder mobility. Whenever I really badly injured my back, that's when I truly learned that everything is connected. Many people say that the whole body's connected, but you do not really fully understand or experience that until your nerves feel like they're being pulled out your butt. So that taught me just how much that micro movements can affect everything, and that in turn, now if I want to activate a muscle or lift a weight properly, do anything fun training wise, I know with 100% confidence that I'm doing it right, and it's a very nice place to be. You cannot treat your body like the enemy. I used to begrudge the pain that I had and get really frustrated with myself and feel like my body was working against me and it was letting me down, and it was not helpful. I needed to focus on the inputs so that my body could learn, so my brain could learn to send better signals and stop needing to give me pain to say, hey, would you fix your hips? Would you fix your spine? These are the things that you need to think about. Your body hasn't killed you yet. It's doing its best. It's probably fighting off 100,000 million diseases right now that you aren't even aware of. So you've got to think about working with it rather than against it. It's trying its best, and you have to be the one to fix you. It's the name of our podcast, You Can Fix You. You are the one that needs to do the work. You can't expect to go somewhere else or take a magic pill that's going to make you better. You need to put the work in. Your world can feel like it's getting very small whenever you're in pain, and you can stop seeing your friends as much, and it can really affect your mental health overall. So keep your focus on what you can control. That is the best use of your time, rather than feeling and thinking about everything that's going wrong right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if it's something you'd like to see more of, and share it with someone that's maybe going through an injury right now if it would really help them. I have online courses as well that can help you to learn how to structure your training and know where your weaknesses are. So if you look over at tommorrison.uk, you can check them out as well, and I hope to see you soon.